Okay, today, another scene of the crime. This is the Saxon Center off of Leopard Street. There used to be an AA meeting right here called Humility Meeting. Now, I liked it when it was here. It was in one of that door right there. But they lost the lease or whatever. I liked this meeting. This was my home group when I was in AA. And I took the advice of the guys. What you're starting to see is CCPD has officers that actually carry out actual real threats. They follow, threaten in public, pull you out of your vehicle, or Janet, in public, they will beat the fuck out of people. See, you're seeing the Wild Wild West out here with these cops. I don't consider them law enforcement. Now, I'm parked close to, I had the guys with me. I used to take Pops and a few of the guys with me to the meetings. The guys they didn't want to ride with me anymore because that guy he'd be all, anywhere I was, he would be. So he'd be here when we come out of the meeting. And I had Andy and David. I had a bunch of guys. And they, right behind me, parked. So for that period of time, I stayed out of the Bluff for about a month at that time. He used to park when I go to Timmins, HEB parking lot is where I used to park. Every day, wherever I was, he would be for months. I remember I told my wife, I said, man, this guy, she said, you're paranoid. No, that was true. Every day, no matter where I was. I got a cigarette for you, brother. I got $1 for you. It's all right. I'm doing a Christian video. I used to go to, yes, I used to go to AA right here when they had the humility meeting.
You're doing a Christian video right now?
Yes, I am.
For real? Can I get in it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, come on, brother.
How do I, here, look, here, you got that.
Oh, what do you got it?
This is your Wells Fargo, man.
Oh, no, I didn't. Say something to the
Hey, how you doing, man? I hope y'all doing good. Have a good day. God bless y'all, man. God bless y'all.
I was doing a halfway house with a friend of mine. I work with a lot of guys on the street that, you know, addicts and all. But I used to be in this area a lot, and I'm doing this video.
So now you just come back to the
yes,
come back to the hood
the old,
to show you where God came back from.
Correct.
That's good, man. Y'all take it easy, man.
And so anyway, you're welcome. And I used to. It was so nerve-wracking for him to park at my house, park down the street, and then when I decided to take the advice and not be in the Bluff, he'd be here. And you know, I was the worry. I wasn't afraid that he was going to beat me up, because if he put a hand on me, then it'd be it. I'd be self-defense, and we'd both die that day. He's the one that makes that threat, though, because you can't have a cop telling people I'm going to get you. Follow that person for years on end, multiple. That would be self-defense. And these guys he has beat up constantly. It amazed me. It amazed me. And then for that year, the guys knew they were worried to get in the vehicle with me. I said, make sure you're not carrying. Just pursue. It's nerve-wracking because, you know, I never made a threat. But he's made threats, carried them out. And you got to do self-defense if somebody says, you're worried somebody's going to shoot you or kill you, and then he pursues you. We were coming out of Church Without Walls in Flower Bluff. Brother Ray feeds the homeless. And I don't go there. I think I was dropping Henry off on a Thursday, and the cop was right there pulling somebody over. And the guys were saying, look, he's planting evidence right. It's so common. So it's a crime syndicate. The guys are afraid that, because when he told Albert, how many times has he planted evidence, beat up guys, threatened them? I remember the name. Matt told me he called it, Tommy had a goon squad. And these cops would go around just mugging people. And he said, then they moved them to this side of town, and they did it here. And I used to not believe it, but it's so... So here, Tommy would be waiting for me. Even though I got out of the Bluff, he waited. He used to park in HEB when I was there at Timmins. Then later, I'd go back to the house. He's parked at that other spot I showed you. Then all over. That went on for, I don't know, about 1.5 years. And I thought, what is he doing? The guys had told me, that's him. They told me that. Andy and David, they said, that's the way it is. And some of the guys did eventually leave. He would threaten people. I run this place. When you go into Flower Bluff, there's a little gateway, you know, everyone going in and out has to go through. He'd be there. He'd let you know. He'd let you know, I'm not going to stop until I either kill you, beat the fuck out of you, put you in prison. Ongoing. So I saw the Amber Alert again. You guys are a joke. You guys are an absolute joke, you CCPD, for allowing that to go on. And all that time I was trying to help the guys, still to this day. So my biggest fear was he's either going to kill you, he's going to have somebody put hit on you, he's involved in every illegal activity under the sun from sunup to sunset. And so I passed a cop car just parked when I was coming this way. I never knew for sure if it was Tommy or he just called some of his other criminals and said, go follow that car. So this is basically harassment. Most cops would get fired for harassment. He carries it out, beats them up, public, they know. So you have criminal activity in CCPD. You do not have a law enforcement agency with CCPD. You have criminal activity where they put word out on the street, you got a hit on you. I was with one of the guys. I don't know if... I've had guys pull out knives when they were with me. And a gun. Now, they didn't say nothing. And it was just not any of the guys that I was working with. But they looked at my face like they wanted a response. And it was a zip gun and one was a knife. And a couple of times on the knife. And the response I gave was nothing. Not... It was just, you're going to kill me? I just would sit there like nothing happened. Now, I don't know. So this is the level you're dealing with these cops. You're dealing with absolute criminal activity. The one case of Shannon, beating the fuck out of him, threatening him, that one case, he should have been in prison. You have 20 years of this, and still, as far as I know, he's still on the street, running rogue. Running rogue. So this is one of the other scenes of the crime. And this went on for years. Parking at HEB, later go to the house, park there, later prepare for the I thought, geez, how could they be fighting crime if they're doing that 24/7? This is why when I see the Amber Alert, I'm like, you guys are not out trying to stop crime. That's, to me, that's just a scam. That's just a scam. That's a sham you're doing. You're out. You spent all those hours just following me for a year and a half. Parking. How could you? That's why I said when they killed that lady, she reported that her boyfriend was going to kill her. They said, there's nothing we can do. Wait, you parked next to me. You followed me. You were with me for a year and a half. I had him with me everywhere. Timmons, till the one on the island, going to the island, stop the car. So CCPD is a criminal organization.